Um, it peed on me. It peed on me. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. It is your girl, Ashley Mateo, and we're back with the last installment of the Canada vlogs. So, funny story, I was trying to record this using my back camera of my phone, and as I finished, I flipped it around and I realized I wasn't recording. So, you're back. Trying this round 2. So anyways, let's just dive into this. So following the last vlog, I went to Kawartha Lakes, and now we are back in Mississauga with my family, or rather like the majority of my mom's side of the family. So once I'm back in the city, we go and hang out with Leda and her girls. So if you saw it in the last vlog video, they were the 2 girls that were at the very end of my series of the last video, and so I got to hang out with them, go hiking at Albion Falls, which was actually really nice. However, we got really lost on where to go because there's like this small trail. There's a parking lot, there's a trail that's supposedly supposed to be connected to Albion Falls. However, when we were walking around for a solid at least 15-20 minutes, we were like, okay, like, where's the falls though? Where are the directions? Hello, SOS, help a sister out. And even people we were walking by were like, hey, have you found the falls? Do you know how to get to the falls? And we're like, no, we literally just got here. And they're like, oh, well, like, we went that way and it's not there, and we went that way, it's not there. And we're like, we just came from that way, it's definitely not there. So it was a little bit of an adventure finding the falls. And so basically what ended up happening is that we came out of the foresty nature area and ended up walking alongside of the road, and there was like a sidewalk, and we kept following it until we found the falls. And so one of the things that kind of sucked is that we actually couldn't go down to the falls. So Canada is pretty strict on COVID and minimizing the numbers and whatnot. And so what they've done is that if you are going to be hiking in these places, in specific areas, you actually have to make a reservation in advance because they want to limit the amount of people just to limit exposure, right? Or they have like completely fenced out certain areas. And so in this situation, the falls were actually fenced out, which is a little sad because we could see it from a distance and we saw it through the chain link fence, but we could not actually go down there. And my cousin Dana actually said, she's like, yeah, I've actually been down there. My friend had like an engagement photo shoot down there. And I was like, damn, that sounds so beautiful, bruh. But for real though, like, it made it really sad that we couldn't actually go down there. However, we couldn't get quite a good view because of the fence. And if you see there, you actually can get fined if you end up hopping the fence and going down there and people catch you. And so what we ended up doing was we saw on the map that there is another overlook, and so we just drove around to the actual other overlook, giving it a better view of the falls. So that was really cool. And then after that, we had some lunch and drove back to my cousin's place. And as you can see, I literally just passed the fuck out in the car. Food coma, exhausted from the heat and humidity, just all the things. And so once we got back, we just hung around. My cousin Leda and her girls went back to her parents' house, which is where she was staying for the weekend, just to kind of freshen up, relax, chill the fuck out with her girls before she came back for dinner time.
3 hours later.
What do we have over here? That's someone's cat. Oh wait, that's not one of our cats.
Alright, I guess we'll just play to unlock all the characters here.
Let's go! 80? We're gonna be here all day.
So it's something from
Oh!
Kid Icarus, right? Yeah.
Let's go, Rosie. Let's go. So then, yeah, when she came over for dinner time, she was just like, so what do you want to eat? Like, what are the things that you want to do while you're still here? You know, you only have a couple days left. What are Canadian things that you want to do? Is there any sightseeing? Blah, blah, blah. And so I was just like, I don't know. I really just want poutine. The most like Canadian thing I know is poutine. So I'm like, all I want is poutine. And so she's like, all right, let's go get some poutine. And so we end up ordering from a place called Smoke Poutineery. You'll see it here. And we order some delicious ass food. What I ordered was the double pork, which is pulled pork and bacon on top of poutine. And so let me backtrack. For those of you who don't know what poutine is basically French fries with cheese curds on top. So cheese curds are a little bit different than regular cheese. The texture is a little different. It's a little bit more chewier. But yeah, that's something Canadians make very specific. It's like, it's not just cheese, it is cheese curds. So I want to make that very clear. And so we had some delicious poutine, and then we also ordered a side of fried cheese curds, which, well, I know it doesn't look that appetizing in the picture, but let me tell you, bomb. And I had it for leftovers another night, and it was bomb even then. After we had the poutine, I mean, the poutine was freaking delicious. I love poutine. I just ate mine the fuck up. I went ham. And I even like ate some of my cousins because she's like, I don't want it, you can have it. I was like, bet, eating, going in. And then afterwards she's like, so what else do you want to eat? I'm like, dude, I'm so full. She's like, yeah, but what Canadian things do you want to do? She's like, I don't know what you have in America that we have here. And I'm like, we'll start naming things that seem Canadian. And so one of the things she ends up naming is this thing called Beaver Tails. And I'm like, what the heck is Beaver Tails? Is it? And they're like, it's kind of like a pastry. It's kind of like this, but then there's toppings and blah, blah, blah. I was like, sounds good to me. And so we ended up heading to the Mississauga Celebration Square, which is, it kind of reminds me of Lawn on D if you've ever been in Boston, except it's more kid friendly. And it's a lot bigger in my opinion. And they have like a ginormous Jumbotron. So it definitely is like more family oriented, where you can like go there, watch some movies at night together. And they have food trucks, and they have something else. Oh, they had like these swings. And you'll see it here. Like my cousin's kids wanted to like go on the swing, so I was like, okay, I'll go with you. And I was the adult chaperoning. But we ordered the Beaver Tails, and we just sat on the steps and enjoyed them. I believe my cousin, I wasn't with them like with what the flavors were, so they ended up picking for me. I think it was like cinnamon sugar is the one that I got, but someone had banana, someone had like Nutella, there was like an apple pie one. Like to me, like what I was most familiar with for me, like when it came to this, it kind of reminded me of fried dough, but it had toppings. Like you had options for toppings. Like when I've had fried dough, it's usually like powdered sugar and cinnamon or like something like that. But this is like, you had different flavors. So I really enjoyed this a lot. And I was just like, yo, I need to come back and get more of this in the future. So after that, that's basically it. So the next day is Sunday. Like, okay, hold on. So the next day is Sunday, and I know my cousin Dana had to go back to work. The girls from last night also had to drive home back to Ottawa, which was like 4 hours away. And so it was a pretty low-key time. I had breakfast at my aunt's house and hung out with like my parents for a little while before heading over to Dana's place, which is literally like 3 minutes down the road.
You screwed my paint on that side. I got painted.
Really? Did he actually like wear it out? Did he really wear that out? Or from like scratching or what?
She really just wanted to like run some errands before she went back into work mode. So we ended up going to the mall, and she went to exchange some clothes, and we ended up going into the flea market. So something I didn't know, because like I've been to that mall like when I was younger, but we went to the mall, and they actually have a flea market in the basement section of this mall. And I can't lie, it looks a little sketch. You'll see it here in the videos, but we ended up going down there because my cousin Jason was looking for some video games. Like, they every so often will find like some really good like retro games there, so he was just like, let me just check it out, see if there's anything good, because he is a massive video game collector. You'll see, I think I have a picture of one of the ones that was in the room I was staying in, which is his old bedroom. But he is a massive collector. He has bookshelves upon bookshelves of different console games. He has multiple consoles of certain ones, like he has multiple Switches. He has multiple 3DSs, which is why I was able to actually borrow one so that I could play Story of Seasons. And if you don't know what Story of Seasons is, if you've ever played like what's it called? Oh, if you've ever played like, I want to keep saying Maple Story, but not Maple Story. Oh, if you've ever played like Harvest Moon before, wow, that took me a minute. But if you ever played Harvest Moon before, it's basically like the same thing, it's just a different name. So I've been playing Story of Seasons throughout time since I came home. And yeah, it's kind of wild how much of a collection he has. Like, he's definitely sitting on a small fortune at this point. And so after that, we ended up going out to eat dinner. We went to a Korean spot because I literally was like, listen, there is literally every food under the sun, and we've tried basically everything. I just want Korean food because I've been like, I just want sundubu, like that is all I want. So we stopped into this Korean shop and it was pretty bomb.
Cool. They're suctioning it in.
It's like it literally reminds me of like
As a bubble tea thing, just like sealing it and it becomes perfect. Does it taste the same? It's just small. Oh, you just suck on it. So you eat it all in one bite, huh?
So after we have breakfast the next morning, I swear to you, at this point in the vacation, I am like sick of eating. And I know that sounds so first world problems-y, but that is literally the feeling that I got from being on this vacation at this point, because literally every day we are going out to eat somewhere, or every day my aunt is cooking some like ridiculous amount of food to eat, that I was like, bruh, like I just want a salad. Like, bruh, I just want to eat some broccoli, like something basic, because everything was just so filling. Every meal was so filling. They're like, I would finish eating and they were like, why are you done? You need to eat more. You need to eat more. I'm like, we just ate like 2 hours ago. I am not hungry enough to eat more. And so that's literally what happens here, is like after we eat breakfast, we get ready to run some errands, and we end up going to an Afghan place. It was pretty solid. Like I ended up only eating like half of it because I was like not hungry like whatsoever. I feel like I was just like, I need to eat this so that there's something in my stomach, because after that we ended up going to see my aunt. So I don't know if I've explained this so far in this vlog, but my mom is one of 6 kids. And 4 out of the 6 of them actually live in Canada. I've been staying with my Tita Army, which is my aunt that's closest to my mom, and we ended up going to visit my other aunt, my Tita Lita. Yeah, it was like really nice to visit her house because it's one that I remember very much from my childhood. Very much just like, it brings back memories, because she would have like pets before, and I would always hang out and play with the pets and the animals. And yeah, it was just very nostalgic for me. And also being able to see my cousin and his kids so grown up. I feel like I've been saying this entire time, like I just miss so much of these kids' lives, so much of my family's lives, because we live so far apart from each other, and I haven't been back in Canada in so long. I wanted to share this really cool photo, or like this wall on my aunt's house, which is like in the main living room area. She has these pictures, these portraits of all of my aunts and uncles in their graduation photos, their college graduation photos. And it's so cute because, you know, I think it's like such a moment of pride for especially like my grandparents before, because, you know, they were not the richest people in the world. They were definitely more on the humbler side. They grew up like on a farm. My mom tells me all the time about how she grew up on a farm picking up chicken eggs, and you know, my grandma like selling pigs in the market and all this kind of stuff. And to see like all 6 of the kids ending up like finishing school or making some sort of, you know, future for themselves, I think is a really big deal, and something I wanted to drop in and share as like a personal thing. But yeah, my mom is the youngest out of all her siblings, and I'm also the youngest out of all my cousins as well. And you can see the picture here, I'll zoom in, but that's my mama. If you can't tell where I get my looks from, it's from my mom's. But yeah, like, it was really cool to see that, because I remember that those photos used to be up even when I was a kid. They have not changed them one bit. And so one of the things that I did was actually meeting my cousin's kids' skinny pigs. Skinny pigs. You heard that right. Skinny pigs. Not guinea pigs. Skinny pigs. And so they're actually a type of guinea pig. It's just they literally don't have hair, or like there's only hair in certain like parts, like in their nose area, their face area. That's literally it.
Ashley feeding George. And that's George. And that's George and Ashley eating the dandelions. We are at Titalita's house. And there they are. And that's Jersey playing with the game with Jason and who's that? Jefferson? Jefferson. Those are the guinea pigs.
You can find it. You can find it in the backyard.
Hi. Hello, George. You having fun right now? Hello.
You're like yum yum yum.
Like yum yum yum.
Yeah, they eat it really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Must be delicious.
And they're actually adorable. I actually really enjoy playing with them. They like eating like lettuce and like dandelion and all this shit. So I was feeding them, and like one of them specifically definitely liked me because they wanted to hang out with me. Like, I feel like the other, because there were 2 of them. One of them, I can't remember their names. It's like Jefferson and like George or something like that. And one of them specifically liked me because like they weren't trying to run away from me or anything like that. So I was hanging around one of them for a little while. And it's funny because my cousin's wife was like, oh hey, like you should probably put like this sweater on top. Like it's just like an old like sweater from like my niece when she was younger, and it's just like just to cover your stomach because you're wearing a crop top. I don't want them to accidentally scratch you. And like even the kids like will usually wear like oversized t-shirts like from my cousin just so that they're covered and they don't get scratched by accident. And so I'm grateful she did that, because later on I realized it peed on me. It peed on me. Literally, I was like, after I left their house to head back to my cousin Dana's, I literally looked down at my leg. I was like, why does it feel like my jean shorts are a little damp? This is kind of weird. I was like, I don't think I spilled anything on myself. And then it occurred to me that's the spot that the little skinny pig was hanging out on. And so I realized it peed on my leg. It was like on the the corner of my crotch and into like my thigh. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? I was like, I'm gonna need to wash these jeans ASAP. So yeah.
It's our last full day in Canada, and of course we have to hit up Seafood City one last time because there's just some things you can't get. I mean, you can get some of these. I'm getting a new pan. A new pan. Ooh, ice cream. What is this? Black sesame, red bean, green tea. Wow, there's so many flavors. No, I can't get ice cream. I can't bring it home. No, it's okay. I've had too much ice cream this whole trip. Where's Jason? Let's see, what else can we find? I basically gathered all the items that I wanted, but I just want to take y'all through. Like, look at all the boy bawang. If you're Filipino, you already know. And like drinks, a lot of these are Asian drinks, not specific to Filipinos. There's some good stuff here. Like, where did it go? There's a whole snack chip aisle. Like when I was on my trip to the cottage, I had some of this. These bad boys. I had some shrimp chips. But yeah, it feels good to see all these Filipino snacks that are so hard to get anywhere else. And of course, we had to check out the bread. Oh, it's whole wheat pandesal, ube bread, cheese rolls, Spanish bread, pan de leche. Loaf, cheesecake, muffins. Yeah. Ooh, adobo mane. What is my parents getting? What are you getting? What is this? Fried tunsoy? What kind of fish is that? Tuyo. Oh, why is it tunsoy? Is it a different name?
Isa pala nito.
Oh. There's a lot.
Hindi ano.
What you got, Mom? What you got? And of course, I had to stop into the beauty section. All the papaya soap, the whitening soap. Japanese stuff. Maybe I should have waited here to get my moisturizer. Oh well. Little travel size ones. And hair color. What was the famous one? Sunsilk. That is the famous Filipino brand. Sunsilk. Oh yeah, this is the one. Sunsilk.
Rice. Ba't ang daming rice?
So much rice.
May rice na dito.
Yuck. That looks good.
Ma'am, meriendahin ko yan.
Merienda?
And so yeah, after we have Seafood City, or we get all the things from Seafood City, we just kind of hang around. I'm basically packing, just preparing for the next day, making sure that I have everything bagged up, making sure that I put all of my like liquids in the proper places, all that kind of stuff. You know the deal when it comes to packing. And so we ended up having my aunt and uncle for dinner that night. this is like the last of my aunt and uncle that we didn't get to see, or rather I haven't gotten to see since I got there. Like they had seen my parents while I was in Kawartha Lakes, so they were like, no, we need to like see you too, because who knows when I'll see you again. So we have dinner, which is basically a bunch of leftovers. My sundubu soup leftovers was my dinner, and honestly still bopping. And I don't think I forgot to like vlog it.
Okay.
No, it's okay. And then there's no Hemi.
Oh, no. You scared? Oh.
You don't like being on camera. Okay, you've got to eat. You've got to eat. So you'll be as big as your brother. Yum, yum, yum.
You want to take some peach one?
No.
No.
No, I'm good.
Good, actually.
And so yeah, the next day my uncle is super nice and was actually able to drop us off at the airport, so we were able to get there without any issues. And to be honest, entering or leaving Canada was so much easier than entering Canada. There was, I mean, obviously with immigration and stuff, that's a thing, plus there's like an app you have to download for like COVID related things to make sure you're vaccinated and blah blah blah. And so like leaving the country, all we really needed to do was making sure we had a negative test, as well as filling out a form. It's like a waiver at the airport, and so that was pretty simple. Going through Pearson Airport, honestly, we were surprised how quickly we got through, because we just don't know what the time restraints or like time limits, or like not time limits, but we just didn't know what the approximate timing of everything was going to be, now that, you know, COVID is still happening, and that, you know, I don't know if there's any extra restrictions that would be required, or we would need to have to talk to somebody or whatever. So we ended up passing through pretty quickly, and we ended up having breakfast at a restaurant in the airport before we hop on our flight home. Finally made it home. Oh, fuck. Let's see, is my room still the same? Huh, looks like just how I left it. And it's actually kind of cool in here. Nice. I had to do it.